The flying saucers of the 1950s, the UFOs, the light forms. Are we still seeing the same things today? I think it was 1957, Winston Churchill allegedly ordered a cover-up of the subject of UFOs and the reporting of UFOs. So what does that tell us when the Flying Saucer Working Party was created in 1950? I think it tells us that there's a deliberate cover-up underway. Hello everybody, today we've come to the area of Danes Dike. Tide's fairly well in, and me and this little fella, the bobster, are going to have a walk just to that point there. And whilst we're walking, and it's a little bit uneven, I thought I would talk about something we've not covered before. And that's the subject of UFOs going back decades and decades. Obviously we've touched on UFO stories before, but not necessarily from the 1950s. And what were the motives of the MOD and the military back in the 1950s regarding the subject of UFOs? Do you think they were pro-UFO, let's expose the truth? Or do you think they were trying to cover something up from the public? And if so, that pattern seems to have carried on through right into present day. And it's February 2025 now, so it's carried on for over 75 years. I think it was 1950 that the Ministry of Defence set up, I think it was the National UFO Working Party. I may have pronounced that slightly wrong, we'll adjust it if I have. And I just wonder what the reasoning was. Was it to genuinely study the subject of UFOs? Or was it to keep the lid on the subject? Come here. There's the people walking along the shore. And there's the bobster. He's getting a bit bold now, look at him. It's interesting that during the 1950s, after the Flying Saucer Working Party was first set up, that many pilots reported encounters with UFOs, flying saucers. That seemed to be the staple craft of the day, unbelievably. Why has that changed now? Is it the phenomena that's adapted as we've progressed and advanced? I really don't know. But many pilots, particularly vampire jet pilots and meteor pilots, as in fast jets of the day, reported, nearly fell over then, reported having contact with anomalous lights and flying saucers in close proximity to where they were flying their aircraft. They were outmaneuvered, not outgunned, because I don't think there was any hostile intent from these unknown others, but they were certainly outmaneuvered. And when they returned back to their airfield, on some occasions the pilots would file a report to say that they'd been in contact with some strange unknown aerial phenomena. And guess what? I would think that 98 to 99% of those reported UFOs were explained away by officialdom as strange weather effects, meteorological balloons, and other such unusual phenomena. But you know, when you break it down, when you think about it, these were trained pilots in charge of what were essentially killing machines. So if these people were making the mistake of thinking that these anomalous lights, these flying saucers that were being described, if they were actually seeing weather balloons and unusual weather phenomena, then I think we would have to start and worry, because chances are these same skilled, highly trained pilots would make other mistakes. But I don't think that was happening. I think it was a deliberate attempt to cover up and suppress the subject of UFOs. Incidentally, I think it was 1957, Winston Churchill allegedly ordered a cover-up of the subject of UFOs and the reporting of UFOs. So what does that tell us when the Flying Saucer Working Party was created in 1950? I think it tells us that there's a deliberate cover-up underway. So, the flying saucers of the 1950s, the UFOs, the light forms, are we still seeing the same things today? I don't know. I wonder why the UFOs of yesterday have changed shape and form. Is it too much to suggest that maybe the phenomena itself has morphed into something else? I really don't know, but it strikes me that the people who were describing seeing these anomalous objects in the skies in the 1950s and 60s were actually seeing and describing exactly what it says on the tin. However, today that doesn't seem to be the case. And the UFOs of yesterday have changed shape. Now, either we're all misidentifying things, we're all getting it wrong, or the phenomena itself has changed, has morphed into something else as we've advanced as a civilization. I think there's a good chance that that could be. But if you found this short walk and talk along the coast of Danes Dike interesting, please tune in for some more from the last transmission. And remember, we do a live stream every Friday, 7 p.m. here in the UK. So why not join us? Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Come on, Bob. Let's go. Such a good lad, aren't you? Hey? Come on.